Welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. Last time we finally we finally allied ourselves enough with the dozens to have their support in defending Caed by completing the Bronze Beneath the Lake. And I think this is as much of an army as we're going to get. It's time, Marshal. Assemble the army and march to Yenwood Field. Excellent. Morale is high and the troops are eager to follow you to glory. Are you certain you wish to march? Yes, I'm sure. Give the order. As you command. I'll march the army to Yenwood Field. Will you be accompanying us? Yes, let's march. As you crest a small hill overlooking Yenwood Field, Lord Gathbin's army is a flurry of activity, scurrying to and fro. Even from the distance, you can hear the drums of war beating their steady cadence designed to intimidate their foes while organizing the rank and file into battle formations. Marshal Forwyn approaches. You've arrived just in time. Lord Gathbin's forces are beginning to move. An attack is imminent. Inspect your forces. Local militia constitutes the majority of the army, but veteran soldiers have organized the ranks and walk amongst the young, unseasoned warriors, offering advice or the occasional joke. They cheer, striking sword to shield as you pass, in thunderous approval of their lord. Some marksmen from the dozens make final preparations for the upcoming battle. They collectively sing a bawdy tavern song as they meticulously clean arquebuses nearly as tall as a man. Any idea what the Gathbin is planning? Marshal Forwyn strokes his chin. His ultimate objective is to face you in battle and to be seen defeating you. I doubt he is foolish enough to challenge you to single combat, of course. Sound the horn, Marshal. It's time to finish this. Marshal Forwyn begins barking orders and your troops quickly form up. Gathbin's army follows suit as a deer and war drums echo across the field. Within a few moments, the Marshal raises a brass horn and the visage of a mighty boar to his lips. He looks at you expectantly. For Caed, your troops bellow across the field, pounding weapon to shield as the Marshal's horn sounds. Dozens of bowstrings twang in unison behind you as your archers unleash a hail of arrows at Gathbin's army. The missiles hiss through the air with deadly accuracy, felling scores of enemies. In a bold mood, Gathbin points his sword toward your position, giving an unheard order. His infantry, shields raised, charge the field. Your infantry charges headlong into the enemy infantry in the center of the field. The cacophonous sound of metal on metal is nearly deafening as the two forces collide. The fighting is fierce and the screams of the dying numerous. Led by veteran warriors rallied to your cause, the troops fight valiantly and appear to be holding their ground. The battle thus far appears to be a stalemate. Then, a group of Adherent battle mages emerges from behind the enemy lines. They begin weaving their hands in unison with a practiced precision. Suddenly, waves of arcane fire erupt among your troops. The acrid smell of smoke and burning flesh is nearly overwhelming. From the left flank of unit of Rawatai berserkers, clad in plate armor and wielding greatswords, begins to collapse the left side of the line. The ground is thick with the dead as they press their advantage. Meanwhile, Bleakwalker paladins, dressed in dark armor and carrying sword and shield, stride back and forth behind Gathbin's lines, rallying his warriors and exhorting them to fight harder. As the battle rages, Marshal Forwyn looks to you for orders. We need to deal with those battle mages. Have the dozens of arquebusiers open fire. The arquebusiers quickly form a line and unleash a salvo of gunfire into the battle mage ranks. Bullets tear through their magical defenses and the wizards fall by the score. Fearing the gunfire, the unit breaks and retreats from the battlefield. As the battle rages, Marshal Forwyn looks to you for orders. Take out the berserkers. We have no allies available to throw against them. Our only hope is to break through Gathbin's line and kill him. Right. The mages are the ones that I'm most glad to be rid of. As the remainder of your forces charge, a horn sounds in the distance. A new contingent of warriors crests a nearby hill. As Gathbin's reinforcements charge headlong into the fray, his other troops cheer triumphantly. The new arrivals quickly join Gathbin's forces on the field. As the battle rages, your forces fight valiantly, pressing ever forward. Casualties on both sides are high, and victory remains elusive for either side. Hana, Lord Gathbin strides through the carnage. His elite guard accompanying him. We both knew it must come to this. Come now. It's time I put you down like the dog you are. Salute Gathbin with your weapon. Even if he has no honor, there's no reason for us to stoop to his level. Oh, wow. I did not expect an actual large-scale battle. I don't think the engine did either. There's Gathbin. Let's stop him in his tracks. And stick him with the bleed. And concussive missiles. And sure, why not corrosion? If we can kill Gathbin, maybe we can stop the fighting sooner rather than later. Gathbin is no more. There's a battle mage there. I suppose we work our way around there. A fireball will do well. I have multiple priests, though, which are going to be a nuisance. In fact, there we go. Alright, take this priest down. This Bleak Walker thinks he can sneak back to my archers. I need to take down these guys. go ahead and drop a fireball over here. It's actually an amazing place for a iconic projection. A support one, specifically. Knock down the priest. Yeah, you should second chance too. Or second wind, that's a different spell. Ability. Whatever. I like how nobody cares about the cat. Knock down. Jeez, the shield warden has so much health. Ray of Flame, I guess. There we go. Next, get the mage. Then the priest, then the archer. You still have your second chance. Go ahead and mark the archer. Like, he's not going to be fought yet, but... There we go. Finish him with the crit. Lord Gathman lies dead before you, his army scattered. Bloodied and exhausted, your remaining troops look to you, swords raised high in victory, chanting your name. Hana! 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 Quest completed. Holding the hem of his robe as he steps over several bodies, Chancellor Warren approaches you. Though his face is pale and he looks as if he will be sick any moment. He forces a smile. Lady Hana, while I'm grateful this dispute is finally over, it is regrettable so many lives were lost in the process. Gathman should have just been reasonable from the start. He gags involuntarily as his silk boot brushes against a severed head. In any event, as a legal arbiter of Earl Baedmar, I'm here to inform you that you have been declared a Thanu of the Deerwood, and Cadnua has been recognized as your domain. It shall forever be thus, and will pass down to any descendants you may have in the future. Of course, now that your claim has been upheld, you are expected to forward a small portion of any taxes to your rightful lord, Earl Baedmar. Tell Earl Baedmar that I'm grateful for his assistance. I'll make sure his taxes are collected with regularity. Excellent. I'll inform Earl Baedmar that everything is in order. It appears my work is done. Feel free to visit the palace if he steps in a pile of entrails with a wet squish as he turns to leave. On second thought, I'll come and visit you. Yes, perhaps in a year. Or 3. Lady Hana, it has been an honor to serve you. I'll be making my way back to Garen's Grasp. The Earl has some urgent business for me there, unfortunately. Should you ever find yourself that far north, feel free to call on me. I'd love to trade war stories with you over a cup or two. He grasps your hand briefly in a firm grip and then turns on his heel. The Skybreaker added. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, this is money. This is so much money. Ring of Unshackling. Minor spell bind, suppress affliction. Hostile effects suspended over 5 seconds. Okay, you can take that, I guess. Blunting belt. I guess you can get the second one of those. Gauntlets of Ogre Might. Gathbin family signet grants Lord's authority, 1 per stronghold turn, and plus 10% area ability area of effect. This ring has been passed down from father to son in the Gathbin family for generations. Thanks to you, that tradition has been permanently shattered. Connected to the rule of Caed itself. Plus 5 might, resolve, immunity to charm and dominated for 30 seconds. Oh man, look at all that money. Bloodstone, Blaskin. Dude, money. So much. Not to mention, I forgot to actually look at the Cloud Piercer, which is a war bow. Spell striking, jolting touch on critical hit, 1 per encounter. 3 DR bypass, and it's fine quality. All right. Eternal funding. This is a better overseeing.
Hey.
All right. So we've successfully defended our right to Caed. So that's finally over with.
Gorgets are indeed.
Where am I on upgrade progress? Oh, I don't have one in progress. Security. South curtain wall. All right. So, do I have reputation in the Defiance? Yes, I do have the reputation in Defiance Bay. Awesome. So that means I might be able to get into the records and also see the lady over where that one cipher is in Brackenbury. So let's go to first fires, first of all. Leaden key agents will attack the stronghold.
I have to cut it off.
I warned you not to pet him.
I'm not supposed to pet him. Why is he so soft?
Damn it, Adair. Why are you like this? So I have a proper reputation here in Defiance Bay.
How do you do?
Looking for militia records. For the first time, he turns his full attention toward you, and his eyes flicker in recognition. Of course, that policy is for the general public. Exceptions can be made for those who have already proven their worth. He looks up at a shelf and withdraws a thick volume, shifting a layer of dust aside with his hand. The rosters are in the front, the inventories of the dead in the back. He passes it into Adair's outstretched hands. Adair leafs through the book for some time anxiously, running his thick farmhand's fingers over page after page of names. At last his hand stops, his fingers just below one name.
Odin Talesh, died 18 March Fahrenheit 2808. For the Battle of Cleaban Relock. These blonde father names, I swear. It's Sarah's. I'll be the effigy. Fought for Raid Sarah's. Why did he fight for Raid Sarah's?
I'm sure he had a good reason. I am too. He stares at the page, his complexion drained. I am too.
We gotta go there. That battlefield. Clear. The one I said. I don't know how else I'm gonna make sense of all this. I gotta see what he saw. Who knows, maybe his spirit will even be there and you can have one of your weird talks with him. Worth trying, right?
I'd say so.
I appreciate that. Wish I could say you won't regret it, but you certainly might.
Saints War Battlefield. Let's flex our reputation a bit. Head down into Brackenbury. We could also clear out House Dominel, because I'm pretty sure we're kill on sight with them.
Well, whatever happens, at least we're out of that mud hole, Gilded Vale. I grew up in Gilded Vale. Quaint. That's what I meant to call it. No, you got it right.
I love the banter. Wait, what building did I just... I came into the sanitarium, which isn't where I wanted to go.
Come on,
Hodret House. Yeah, it was Hodret House. Because this is where we were attacked by the band of Crucible Knights. Let's see, Corinne?
Hail and well met.
Looks as though you could use help. Done right roll only. Confidence of Lady Webb. I feel like Webb's quarters are somewhere. Barely deals with anyone personally. Upstairs, maybe? She'll send for you. Okay, no. Let's stay at the inn, I guess.
Your brother, did you and he get along?
We got along how brothers do. He used to throw water on me to wake me up in the morning. I used to fill his boots with stinging ants.
My own brothers and sisters are doing very well for themselves back in Tacoma. I don't know that they'd search for me if I were killed so far from home.
Brothers can be funny. I bet you'd be surprised how far they'd go.
So our next objective, I guess, would be, well, I want to go check out that cliff if I can actually find it. Actually, I want to see if I can have the vision for Sagani again with a perception bonus.
Ready, Watcher.
Oops. Curious about your search for Persoak. Okay, never mind. I missed the chance. That is an awkward angle.
All right, then.
Hail, traveler.
See your rooms. Intellect, I guess. Back to Caed for now because I want to do the defense. We've been filling out the map pretty well. Just kind of came to a halt when we got to Defiance Bay.
Keeps coming along nicely.
Hireling payday. Oh, I need to rehire. I really need to rehire. Oh. There we go. Let's go ahead and manual resolve. I'm not sure if I can loot auto resolves, so. I wonder if doing these defenses counts as a turn for the quests. Oh, goodbye, Gold Pact Knight.
Stand still.
Why did all the other corpses get cleaned up?
Hail and well met.
Let's sell things. We're having a sale! Right then. Ooh, I got a binding copper and a Bareth spell. Nice. But you have primordial. You have beast slaying on Drake's spell. You have spirit slaying, which I'm gonna keep. Yeah. Oh, what? I need 2 Bareth spells for the scepter. Okay. What? I only needed 1 before. No. Okay.
Hey.
I really should just start buying the special items that I want, since I do have quite a bit of money. But at the same time...
Keeps coming along nicely.
Alright. Hire another gold pack knight and another orderless disciple. Right. Let us do our thing. We definitely should have enough time to at least clear out Stormwall Gorge. Why is Neri the Deft Hand back? I know I've dealt with him before. Feral Druids. Druids don't tend to play nice with fire. Wow, that is a lot of fine stuff. A lot of money. Amethyst, Potion of Wizard's Double and Spirit Shield. Wow.
I'm here.
Hey.
Elder Lion. Easy game, easy life. Oh, Elder Lion Fangs. Huh. Wildlife is not a... Jeez. they kept approaching one at a time. Like, they wouldn't have survived even in a group, but still.
That's it.
Dead on.
Of course.
Awakened wood and hides. More pilgrim's crown. Here's the gorge itself. Hiravia. Chewing on a piece of uncooked meat, a small Orlin dressed in tattered leathers offers a mumbled greeting and waves his hand. Despite his pleasant smile, the upper right portion of his face is in a sorry state. An eye patch stitched with a stylized eyeball wraps around his head, and his ear is a mangled remnant that twitches in spasms while the other ear perks up at your approach. Next to him is a splayed carcass of a deer that appears ripped open by a bear or wolf. You hear a gurgling rumble next to you. Sagani places her hand on her stomach. Her eyes are on the carcass. Still fresh. Itumak's pink tongue lolls out of his mouth.
This is your deer. You need a new game warden. Name's Haravius. Hungry? I can't eat all this. First catch of the day. Help yourself.
You might want to cook that first.
And ruin the original texture? That's the best part. Just see for yourself. Eat up.
After you. His one eye locks yours, and he tears off several inches of intestine with one ripping bite. He slowly chews, his eye squinting at you.
So delicious. Now I know the deer had elderberries for its last meal. Are you sure you don't want to try some?
What killed that deer?
One ornery stelgon. Though looking at the deer's insides, it had a malformed but delicious heart, and would have been dead within the year regardless. Galloway chose a fitting end for this fine animal. Pardon me. I shouldn't pray with my mouth.
What brings you here?
Other than the delicious venison, new trees to document, new animals to sketch, new sights to be seen. I've learned as much as I can from the druids of my circle. I'd rather wander and learn than take root and stagnate. So if you're traveling the Deerwood and need another set of hands, I'd welcome the safety of a group.
Why so eager to join
I'm a
me?
stranger around these parts, and I've had enough of solo travel for the time being. But it was just an offer, friend. If you have no need of an experienced druid, so be it.
Consider the offer accepted.
Splendid! It'll be an honor to run with the pack for a change.
I say that, but he's going back to Cadnua. Though he is level 8 with us, which is nice. When I actually finish someone's personal quest, then I'll go ahead and bring him in. I never looted these two? Hmm. Ooh, another Bareth spell. Dead Adventurer. Let's see. How are we on construction? Bad visitor, payoff, or send escort. Well, this sure is a section of map. How do you go south from here? Right, I can get to Deerford Village. I guess I go to the Woodland Plains and try going south from here? I'm actually not sure how I'm supposed to get there. Well... doesn't look like we have any quests we can do besides the main one. So let's go to to Deerford.
You had 5 siblings?
That's right. Between the 6 of us, I don't think the house has known a single day's quiet. Of course, a little chaos makes it far easier to get away with.
Mischief. Yes, I can imagine that comes in handy.
Let's see here. Temple of Bareth. Deerford Mill. Grieving Mother. Winfred's Armaments and Armory. I guess start at the temple. Selby. Must be wanting Beadmore. He's out of town. I'm just keeping the candles lit until he gets back. Okay.
Don't bother the caddy too much. You have better odds against a Stelgar.
Medrith. An elf idles by the road, watching the village across the river. He nods as you approach, and the cowled figures standing near him fall silent. Greetings, friend. A slow smile forms as he eyes you. I have heard of you. Word has it you've been busy in Defiance Bay. He draws closer. I'm busy too, and eager to finish my business and get back to the city. What business is that? Haven't you heard? There's a murderer on the loose. Said to have gone mad with grief and strangled a dozen healthy children when her own was hollow-born. He nods at the figures with him. We've come all the way from Defiance Bay to bring her to justice. She's here? He nods across the river. She's hiding out in the village. We'd go in after her ourselves, but the problem is, she knows our faces. There's no telling what she'd do if she saw us coming, and we'd like to avoid any further unnecessary bloodshed. He leans closer. Her name's Nifre. She's in Orlin. We want to get her out of town so that we can deal with her cleanly. She knows we're looking for her, but if someone were to convince her that it's safe to leave... If she's a mass murderer, why didn't the Duke send the Crucible Knights after her? The powers that be want to keep things quiet, for obvious reasons. Better not to cause a fuss, and certainly better not to startle her into doing something drastic. You could draw her out. She won't know you. It'll be simple. I have a few questions. What did Nefre do exactly? She was responsible for the murder of all those babies in Defiance Bay, remember? Terrible thing, but we'll make her pay, all right.
Stranger.
Somehow, I don't necessarily think that's what happened. Oh.
Well met, Fred.
The guard sighs with relief as he looks at you. What are the odds? Stuck in the backwater only to meet the famed champion of Defiance Bay. Barath's wheel brings us mercy today indeed. His demeanor grows serious. Perhaps you could help. I don't suppose you saw a young elven noblewoman on the road. I'm stuck in this wretched place with the rest of my unit until we find her. Who is she? Lady Alis. He bites his lip. She's the daughter of Lord Nestor Harond, and she's gone missing. He sighs. Perhaps you could go speak with Lord Harond at the inn. He'll be grateful for the assistance, and it could be the villagers will open up to you more than they have to us. No shortage of troubles, even in a small village. Just villagers. A man paces angrily in front of a wrecked animal pen, his sun-weathered face twisted with ire. He's so wrapped up in his fury that he doesn't seem to notice you. Gallowing, slobbering beasts! Blazing bloody effigy! Thrice-damned salty wench in her soggy! What's wrong? That monster stole my pigs, traipsed into the field, tore down my pen, and made off with the whole damned herd. Just left a few little runts, and what am I supposed to do with them? Calm down and tell me what happened. He bites his lip and closes his eyes. His nostrils flare with each quick, angry breath. Wife's always telling me to mind my temper. Just breathe deep and count to 10. He sighs. An ogre moved into the area not long ago. Folk had seen glimpses and tracks out in the wood, but it seemed to be staying away from town. Or so we all thought until it made off with my pigs. Now everyone's afraid it's going to develop a taste for kith, if it hasn't already. Did you see it take your pigs? What else would have destroyed my pen and made off with my herd? And at the same time, the rest of the village is seeing a 10-foot monster in the forest. I know it's too late to get my pigs back, but it had set my mind at ease to see that thing's head shorn from its neck. In fact, you bring its ugly pate to me, and I'll trade you for something that's less use of a farmer like me than to a rowdy-looking sort like yourself. I've been sent to find an Orlin named Nefre. Know where she is? Never even heard of her. What do you know about the ogre? It's the same as any other, I'm sure. A big ugly son of a bitch with a nasty temper and an appetite to match. Triggle could tell you more. He claims to have seen it in the wood. You can find him in his shop right by the broken tower. Let's see. The Drakagan Inn. Suppose we take things as we find them, so to the inn. In case you're new to my playthroughs, I always save main quest stuff for last.
We're decent folk, my lord. Perhaps you should leave and check the wilds.
Well met, friends.
A redhead stands by the fire, tuning her lute and plucking its strings. She hums and snatches of a melody as she goes. First time at the Drakagan? Normally I'd have a song ready, but I haven't quite worked out this tune yet. I'm working on some chants about the founding of this inn. Say, you interested in the story? I haven't finished the chants, but I could tell you about it all the same. Sure, let's have it. Oh, excellent. These rustic fables are always great fun. Let me get out something to write with. It was built in the time of Hadret's rebellion, and a dear and lady Thane once had a keep here. One of the towers still stands, but the rest is said to be buried under the village. Anyway, she stuck to the side of the Empire, and a contingent of Duke Hadret's Knights of the Crucible helped the farmers and colonists in the area turn her keep to rubble. The inn was the first building that sprang up from the ruin. Built with some of the same bricks the colonists had pulled from the Lady Thane's castle, they say. Supposedly, the quarterstaff of her chief wizard even got lost in the construction, mortared into a wall or nailed under a floorboard. Anyway, the inn was supposed to be a haven and a meeting place while the locals built their new town. What went wrong? Dear Woodens are an orderly lot, and the more these new neighbors met, the more they argued. They realized they didn't agree on much besides ousting the old lord. The biggest divide was over the Glenfathens and their nearby ruin. Hadret's knights and their supporters wanted to keep the peace, but a group of misfits with more anarchic leanings that had formed in town wanted to go after the tribes the same way they'd gone after their lord. Soon, the villagers were fighting with each other as much as with the Adirans. In the end, the memories of the Broken Stone War and War of the Black Trees were fresh enough that the Duke's soldiers won the day. Most of the other villagers came around eventually, but some of the core troublemakers left to join the front lines of the War of Defiance, and others, I've heard, found their way into the Guided Compass, the most forward-looking of the Glenfathen tribes. I don't know if I believe that part myself, but it makes a good story. She points to the east wall. There's a portrait of one of the chief rabble-rousers and his rival in the peacekeeping faction. Someone's idea of a joke. I don't think they were particularly amused. Dengler.
Well met, friend.
The innkeeper digs inside a mug with a dirty rag. His eyes under his thick brows are tired but watchful. He gives you a quick nod as you approach the bar. Don't see many travelers these days. Something I can do for you? What was your exchange with that nobleman about? He looks up from polishing his tankard and glowers at the lord. Folk round here is decent. They mind their own business. You want to stick your nose in it, go talk to him yourself. Uh-huh. Pace. Psst. Lord Harond. The man wears Adir-style robes, simple but elegant. His fine leather shoes look like they were made for padding around indoors, yet they're caked with mud. He yanks at a lock of hair twined around his silk-gloved finger. His fine features are etched with anxiety.
Child is out there. Do they not understand? My lord, we're doing everything we can. Unfortunately, these villagers, beasts take them all. I don't care how you do it, but find her.
Your child is missing, I take it.
Yes, Lady Alice, my daughter.
He tugs at the fingertips of his
I've
gloves.
asked around, but nobody in this mother has any concerns beyond their swine. Turn my men, they're like beggars and seem downright pleased in their use. You're not one of my soldiers. You look like you're used to getting your hands dirty, if you don't mind what I say, so.
His guard leans in. My lord, an artist. Harana raises a hand to silence the man. If you find her, he nibbles the thumb of one silk glove. Tell her I won't be upset with her. She can come back and all will be well. I just want to make sure my Elise, my child, is safe. Nothing in the world is more important to me. Ask a few questions. Describe her. She's a striking young woman. Bears more resemblance to her mother than to me. She has auburn hair and delicate, well-bred features. She must be, 28 or 29 by now. Tell me about her disappearance. We'd stopped in Deerford for a few days. On our fourth evening here, I was making plans to continue our journey. Lady Elise was feeling unwell and went to bed. When I retired a couple hours later, I found that she had vanished. None of my men had seen her go, and no one in the inn knew where she was. Since then, my people have been combing the village, but we've yet to find a clue, and and the locals have been no help. Why did you come to Deerfruit? It was merely a stop along the way to Aina's Rest. However, she took ill shortly before our arrival, so it seemed prudent to allow her a few days to recover. What's in Aina's Rest? He frowns as if about to protest, but gives in with a sigh. Lady Elise has reached an age where it is prudent for her to marry. Given this legacy business, I can't let her fertile years slip by, nor do I want her womb to fester in the presence of so many Hollowborn. It seems there would be more potential suitors in New Hyamar or New Yarma. You think I haven't considered that? Arranging a suitable match is difficult. The best prospects for my child lay in Aina's Rest. Where's the rest of your family? Surely they wouldn't want to miss your daughter's betrothal. Lady Herond is ill-suited for travel, I'm afraid, and unfortunately, Elise has few other close relatives. My sister and her husband, Elise's aunt and uncle, of course, have been visiting Adir these past months. He rubs his knuckles. And as for siblings, Elise has none. My wife has only given birth to Hollowborn. Since Elise, that is. Right. Somehow, I have a feeling she left. Because, you know, arranged marriages are BS.
Don't bother the caddy, Jamak. You know better.
Actually, I should go ahead and check with the innkeeper.
Greetings.
Tell me about Lord Heron's daughter. He frowns and shrugs. His lordship says she up and went missing the other day. He wipes a tankard with his ragged towel, twisting it with swift, jerking motions. I don't know any more than that. However, these lording bastards handle their affairs with... Oh, ain't no business. Okay. Okay. Hang on, Aloth, I need to borrow your hood. And booze up.
Yes.
Hail and well met.
You look agitated. Something about this doesn't sit well with you, does it? He slams the clean tankard down on the bar. Damn right it don't. That lord saunters in here like he's cut from cleaner cloth than the rest of us, and yet... He shakes his head. Look, I don't want no trouble from you or him or anybody else. I'm just waiting for him to tire of my ale and leave so things can get back to normal around here. I won't stand by and allow an innocent girl to come to harm. Help me find her. He leans on the bar and sighs. That girl, Elise. She was looking to disappear. You should have seen her, watching the door like a sheep at slaughter. All the same, she didn't hardly speak to no one. Only folk I seen her talk to is Triggle. He nods at the east window. His shop's up by the broken tower. Bit of a hothead, that one. My advice is to let the matter drop. Like I say, it don't profit to dig around in other people's business. My hope...
That's fragrant.
My hope is to be able to help her disappear. A sturdy, broad-shouldered man wipes his hands on his slacks. He reeks of the same foul compound wafting from the vats, and his arms are stained with dye. You looking to purchase some leather? What can you tell me about Elise Herond? He shrugs. Only that her father's men have been banging down doors and stirring up trouble looking for her. I never met her myself. That's strange. Dangler told me you two were acquainted. He watches you and smiles slowly. He doesn't miss much. What exactly did he tell you? He said she was looking for an escape. Her father's dragged her out here to get hitched to some backwoods noble. She wanted an escape, all right, and I was happy to give it to her. We snuck across the river a few nights ago for some private time. Come to find out, we weren't exactly alone. An ogre, taller than Winfrith's tails, sprung out of the forest, and we were so lost in the heat of the moment we didn't notice it until it was upon us. It grabbed Elise and vanished into the night before I could even pull my britches up. Don't take this the wrong way, but this shop smells like an outhouse. Am I really to believe that a lord's daughter snuck into the woods with you? Triggle scowls. Curb that clever tongue of yours. I'm afraid there's no right way to take that, stranger. Just tell me what really happened. I don't repeat myself. Not for you and not for some noble's toadies either. Can I go back in there? No. Okay, I'm actually going to load this one.
Good day, stranger.
I meant no offense. I'm just trying to find her. As I was saying, the ogre vanished with her. Probably took her to its lair, wherever that is. He measures you with his gaze. She could still be alive. I'm in no shape to go after her, but that Heron looks like he'd have coppers to spare for anyone who found her. He scratches his cheek with fingers stained red and yellow. Others around here have seen the ogre east of town. Took most of Rumbold's pigs just the other day. If someone were to find it, there'd be a lot of grateful people in Deerford. He wipes a splotch of dye from his elbow with his shirt tail. Alright, what do you have for sale anyway? Exceptional enchanted gear. Girdle of mortal protection, reduce crit damage, trollhide belt. Actually, that's pretty good. I want that regeneration ability. Oh, I never looked in this book, did I? Crackling bolt. Confusion. Call to slumber. Enervating terror. Blast of frost. Alright, and you also have an option to ask about Nefri. Make it a point to keep out of other people's business.
Hey.
Alright, so it looks like we're going to have to find that ogre before anyone will be willing to talk to us too much. So, next time on Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, we'll be going after that ogre to the east. After I check to see if you have any unique items.
Well,
No, but it was worth a check. I will take the binding copper just because that's hard to find, though. See you guys then.